I know, I know, I know. And here we go. And here we go. Oh, are we on yet? Are we there? Okay, then. That's good. We are there.
In the quiet of the morning light, hands raised high in pure delight.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's a great day to be alive, isn't it? One more day. One more day. On top of the ground. And the ground, not on top of you. Oh, yeah. It is a Monday morning. It is time to rise and shine. All righty now. Now, it's time. I got you on though. I got you. We good with that. That's a song. That's a song me and AI put together for you. Okay, anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. It's a Monday morning. It is time, of course, for our daily bread. And that's the first thing we do because we realize we know what's important in life. And what's important in life, there's nothing more important in life than paying homage to the one who gave us that life. So right now, our daily bread's coming up next. And then we gonna move on to other things. But good morning to you. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I really am. And that's a blessing in itself, isn't it? Yeah, because last night, someone went to bed and they didn't get up this morning. So if you, like my good friend says, if you got the wake up call, then you are in pretty good shape today. At least you started off the day pretty good. So we'll be back uno momento after our daily bread. Then I'll give you the weather. See what's going on with that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what's going on with that and everything as we traverse the day. So next up, of course, it is our daily bread. So we'll be back with other things. I got a little Ronald Reagan piece for you this morning. It really is I love me some Ronald Reagan. I mean, not like that. I'm just saying, but I did like Ronald Reagan. I don't think when he died, I just cried. He was such a great speaker. He seemed like such a great guy. But I don't know. I don't know him personally, of course. Work for him though. Signed all my checks and stuff in the Army. So what can I tell you? Join under Carter, got out under Bush. All right then. So we shall return uno momento. Hang loose. We'll be back.
Hi, and thanks for joining us for another daily encouragement from our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Rivals or Allies, was written by Kirsten Holmberg. The city of Texarkana sits squarely on the state border between Texas and Arkansas. The city of 70,000 inhabitants has 2 mayors, 2 city councils, and 2 police and fire departments. The crosstown sporting rivalry between high schools draws an uncommonly high attendance, reflecting the deep allegiance each has to their own state school. More significant challenges arise as well, such as disputes over the shared water system, governed by 2 sets of state laws. Yet, the town is known for its unity despite the line that divides it. Residents gather annually for a dinner held on State Line Avenue to share a meal in celebration of their oneness as a community. The believers in Corinth may not have drawn a line down their main thoroughfare, but they were divided. They'd been quarreling as a result of their allegiances to those who taught them about Jesus, Paul, Apollos, or Cephas, Peter. Paul called them all to oneness in mind and thought, reminding them it was Christ who was crucified for them, not their spiritual leaders. We behave similarly today, don't we? We sometimes oppose even those who share our singularly important belief, Jesus' sacrifice for our wrongdoings, making them rivals instead of allies. Just as Christ himself is not divided, we, as his earthly representation, his body, mustn't allow differences over non-essentials to divide us. Instead, may we celebrate our oneness in Him. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 10 through 17. I appeal to you, brothers and sisters, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that all of you agree with one another in what you say, and that there be no divisions among you, but that you be perfectly united in mind and thought. My brothers and sisters, some from Chloe's household have informed me that there are quarrels among you. What I mean is this: one of you says, I follow Paul. Another, I follow Apollos. Another, I follow Cephas. Still another, I follow Christ. Is Christ divided? Was Paul crucified for you? Were you baptized in the name of Paul? I thank God that I did not baptize any of you except Crispus and Gaius, so no one can say that you were baptized in my name. Yes, I also baptized the household of Stephanas. Beyond that, I don't remember if I baptized anyone else. For Christ did not send me to baptize, but to preach the gospel, not with wisdom and eloquence, lest the cross of Christ be emptied of its power. Let's pray. God, help us to remain focused on you and your sacrifice for mankind. Help us to keep the spirit of unity in all things and to call others to oneness as a community of faith. Thank you, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
All righty then. All righty then. Good morning. Okay, you know what you got to do? It's time for PT. Okay, we got to start out Monday with the run. Okay, unfortunately, you got to do that. Okay, I'm an Army guy, and you got to run first thing in the morning. So let us stop the lollygagging here. Let's get on the move. Let's get things done. Let's get that blood flowing. Don't eat a whole lot this morning. Just eat a little bit, just to make sure that things going right for you. Okay, so. Can we get this? Okay. All right then. Let me see. Where's it at? Is that it right there? Okay. Let me see here now. Oh no, that's not it. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So hang loose. Okay. We're gonna be all right. All right. There we go. All right. I gotta take PT. Don't do that. Hey, Z's doing PT this morning, so I gotta do it. Okay. Morning rain.
Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, let me hear. Hard work, turn it up. Hard work, fire it up. Everybody on the plane. Gotta sit them on down. Hard work, the engines are on. Hard work, the mission is go. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, I do it for play. Hard work, earn my pay. Hard work.
Okay. That's enough. Okay, that's enough. Whew. Just running first thing in the morning gets that blood flowing. No, I'm telling you, gets the blood flowing. Now, next up, we pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States of America: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. Because even though some of you don't realize it, freedom is really not free, is it? No, somebody pays, somebody sets on the fence. Even for the narcissist people out there who think that they get up every morning without seeing Soviet tanks, Chinese tanks rolling down our streets, they think it just happens by osmosis. It happens because young men and women, not the old school, young men and women, they may not know what they're getting into, but they volunteer to protect this nation. We owe them our honor, our respect, and our concern. And that's why every morning we're going to always honor those young men and women who wear this uniform of this nation, who go where they're told to go, who fight who they are told to fight. Sometimes they give all they have. So let us honor them, and then we shall return. Uno momento. All right? We'll be back. Wrong one. There we go.
Over hill, over dale, we will hit the dusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along. In and out, hear them shout, counter marching all about, and those caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high beat in the field artillery. Count out the numbers loud and strong. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And wherever you go, you will always know that those caissons go rolling along. Anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. Farewell to college joys. We sail at break of day, 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 day. Through on a smiling shore. Hail to the fall. Until we meet once more, it's wishing you a happy voyage home. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in Thee. Through howling gale and shot and shell to win our victory. Sandberg Miraculous is our guide, our pledge, our motto too. We're always ready to or die. I Coast Guard, we fight for you. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sky. Here they come, soaring to lead our thunder. And boys, give them the gun. And we dive, starting a flame from under, off with one terrible roar. We live in fame, we'll go down in flame, for nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
And last but certainly not least, we call them Jarhead. Hell with dogs. We know them as the United States Marines.
To the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First we fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor free. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
there. We did that already. We got that covered. We did that already. Okay, let me turn the thing up over here. Okay, let me see. Hello. Okay, I'm just trying to turn the thing up here. Hello again. Anyway, good morning to everybody. Hope everything's going on okay with everybody out there this morning. Now we do got one little thing we get. Now every Monday and Friday we play, or Monday and Thursday we play a little piece of motivation, just in case. Sometimes we forget as a nation where we came from, and then sometimes we ought to forget some of the things we came from, but not necessarily. Anyway, good morning to you. Ronald Reagan has probably got to be one of the most prolific speakers that ever. Him and Obama, they're good speakers. Although, I'm going to tell you, I know somebody's going to get mad at me when I say this, but I think Ronald Reagan had more substance in the things he said than Obama did. But Obama is a great orator, also. Okay, now Trump don't really have that kind of talent, and neither did either of the Bushes. But but Ronald Reagan, he had a way of getting your attention. He getting your attention. At least you knew while you're serving in this country that he was going to do what he could to give you all the things that you needed. The boots, the bullets, whatever the case may be. Everybody else, well, I don't know. We really haven't had. Although I will say one thing, there are a lot of similarities between Trump and Reagan. Not very many, but there are some. And the most important one is protect our country. That's the most important one. Now we can argue about some of the others at some later date. But anyway, Ronald Reagan came out with a speech that was Rendezvous with Destiny. And it is an outstanding piece of work, piece of literature. Well, not literature, but it's a speech that I think should be probably played in most of our schools. I think it needs to be. But nobody really gets into patriotism that much anymore, do they? No, they don't. No, they don't. They just think that it's just automatically going to be here because we. Come on, man. I play Rita Pearson the first of every year for school. Give me a break. Okay, just cut me some slack here, okay? So we are and I'll play it again as long as I live. So we're gonna play Ronald Reagan, R-E-A. How you spell Reagan? G-A-N. Yeah, we're gonna play Ronnie Baby today because Ronald was a magnificent speaker. And he was a great president too, in my mind. In my mind, he was a great president. So we'll be back right after these messages to go on with the day, the things of the day. And don't forget, it is a great day, an outstanding day to be on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you.
Is not a man who could carelessly send other people's sons to war. And that is the issue of this campaign that makes all the other problems I've discussed academic, unless we realize we're in a war that must be won. Those who would trade our freedom for the soup kitchen of the welfare state have told us they have a utopian solution of peace without victory. They call their policy accommodation. And they say if we'll only avoid any direct confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose them are indicted as warmongers. They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple. If you and I have the courage to tell our elected officials that we want our national policy based on what we know in our hearts is morally right, we cannot buy our security, our freedom from the threat of the bomb, by committing an immorality so great as saying to 1 billion human beings now enslaved behind the Iron Curtain, give up your dreams of freedom, because to save our own skins, we're willing to make a deal with your slave masters. Alexander Hamilton said a nation which can prefer disgrace to danger is prepared for a master and deserves one. Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war, but there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? Well, Nikita Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we're retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better read than dead, or as one commentator put it, he'd rather live on his knees than die on his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of us. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire the shot heard round the world? The martyrs of history were not fools. And our honored dead, who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis, didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay. There is a point beyond which they must not advance. And this is the meaning, in the phrase of Barry Goldwater, peace through strength. Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness. We will keep in mind and remember that Barry Goldwater has faith in us. He has faith that you and I have the ability and the dignity and the right to make our own decisions and determine our own destiny. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, see that right there. That, I think that
This is not a man who could carelessly.
okay, well, that right there should have took up the should have taken up the people going in the military like I mean exponentially. I mean we should have went down. Yeah, we need to protect this thing. See, people make a mistake about America sometimes. Oh, let me get this thing going here. People make a mistake about America sometimes. They think that we are on the people who are not all the way to the left. They think that we think America's a perfect place. We don't. As a matter of fact, we know America's not a perfect place. But I will say one thing: it may not be a perfect place, but it's the best place that I've lived, and I've lived a couple places. So we good. I've lived a couple places. Oh, let me this one right here. Okay. See, Dr. Joe keeps getting me confused with his Rita Pearson thing. You have to like that thing, man. I mean, you have to like that. You have to like that thing, okay? What is this? You'd rather listen to Ronald Reagan over the messages who brings life to so-called black people? We're not indigenous people to America. So I wish y'all would stop that. I read, show me the proof and I'll go along with it. Okay. As a matter of fact, the word indigenous is sort of like an oxymoron. First of all, nobody was here when the first person that came to North America to tell us. Did somebody take a video camera out there and set on the edge of the water? As a matter of fact, we didn't even call it America then. Okay. I'm just saying, y'all. Yeah, I understand. Listen, I understand that we want to be important. I'm everybody wants to be important, but let us. Okay. I'm just saying, let us be realistic here. Okay. Okay, let us be realistic here. Like the Indians are not indigenous to this country. The Indians came from someplace else. As a matter of fact, it is alleged that they walked over the bridge from Asia or someplace. So everybody wants to claim that they were the first here. Well, I tell you, and the one thing I've never quite gathered. Now this is now I'm pretty sure some of you guys are going to agree with me on this before I get to any serious discussion today. I find it absolutely I find it absolutely interesting that we can claim something that we did not create. Now that really amazes me. We can claim land as ours that we didn't create. Now, I think the government and the fact that the government can sell it to you just out. I mean, that's an amazing thing. Oh, well, I know we're not Indians. Okay, I know that. But that's some people say that we were the first people here. But again, how can you claim what was here when you got here? Okay. Now, I do think the government has a part in dividing, giving your own piece, let you rent your own piece of space while you're living, and when you go, it goes to somebody else. Kind of like an apartment. People move in and out of apartments. Apartment stays, but you be gone. So I've often wondered, how in the world can the government charge me? Now think about this, right? Charge me taxes on something that they didn't produce. It's an amazing thing. I'm trying to figure that out. So the land was here before Montgomery was Montgomery, before Alabama was Alabama, and you're going to charge me taxes on something that you didn't produce. See, I can understand taxes, like, okay, the roads. I can understand the roads because we put the roads there. I can understand that. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, I know they got a way to do it, but land, I'll never understand how anybody can charge you land that they didn't come up with. That just absolutely boggles my mind. That's not even logical. Oh, well, yeah, I know it was here when I got here, but, I'm going to charge you to own some of it. Okay. Which you really never own it because you can't take it with you. I saw a funeral the other day. A guy got buried in his automobile. Now I think it was a Porsche, as a matter of fact. Now, I'm thinking that if somebody is smart enough, they can get out there and get that Porsche, get that Porsche and drive it off. but you, but because it ain't going nowhere in that dirt. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know why people do it, but it was his Porsche. So now that I guess he thought he could take it with him, and he did. So I don't think they got Porsches up in heaven or any place else in the spiritual world. I don't think they got that up there. I just don't think they got it. We are an ancient people who never knew about selling land. Well, now you may be right about that. Now it's not a bad way to raise money for the things that we like to have, like garbage pickup and things of that nature. I understand why they do it. But it's just an amazing thing that somebody came with such a great idea to charge you for something that they didn't come up with. Listen. One thing about Americans or people in power, they can come up with some ways to get you. They can come up with some meaningful ways to separate you from your money. I mean, they can. They can do that. Anyway, moving right along. Lessons of life today are first of all, let me give you the weather. Let me tell you what's happening in the weather today before we can go any other place. Right now, it's 76 degrees outside. Feels like 78 degrees. Today, 49% chance of rain, partly cloudy this morning, increasing clouds and periods of showers this afternoon. It's going to be hot. It's going to be real hot. Hot around 95 degrees. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain today, 50%. Also on tonight, which is Monday, low tonight of 73. Some clouds this evening. Will give way to mainly clear skies overnight, low 73. Winds are light and variable. And last but not least, on tomorrow, like we really know what's going to happen tomorrow, we really know. A 7% chance of precipitation. Plentiful sunshine, continue hot, real hot. How hot is it? It's real hot, okay? Winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Precipitation chance today, 49%. ragweed pollen is high, air quality is good, and the UV index is high. I think it goes like 10. Well, it is 10. It's high as it can get, as a matter of fact. Okay. From the almanac today, the highest it's ever been on this day is 101 degrees. The lowest it's ever been on this day, since records been kept, is 61 degrees. So you see, even the weather is working with us today. Okay, I'm just saying it's working with us. All right. So moving right along. Now, first of all, let me give you the. Let me see now. I'm trying to get my phone thing here. Oh, share the screen. That's what we want to do. We're going to share this screen right here. That's what we want to do. We want to do that. Okay, then that's what we want to do. There we go. All right, then. So if you want to call in, you can. Somebody give me a commo check just to make sure we can hear. Well, now I can do my own commo check. I'm thinking, but let me make sure the phone is working before I tell people to call. What's that number again? That number is 334-52. I should know it by heart by now. 521-2963. Okay. So let me just make sure it's working. Because okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so it is working. Outstanding. So anyway, so if you want to call, if you totally disagree with me, you feel free to do that. I'm good. Just remember though, I'm brilliant. And so if you're going to argue against me, you need to be the second smartest guy in town. Okay, because I'm already the first. So, it's pronounced idea, not listen. I pronounce it idea. Okay, that's just the way I pronounce it. I'm a northerner. Okay, and let's not get on to how we pronounce words, because the Southerners take words and make new words out of them without even changing the spelling. Okay, so let's not no. Now, hey, I agree with this guy. Right? He said real estate and contracts are trickology. I listen. I'm with you. I think it is to sell me something that you didn't come up with. That's a hell of a scam. But that's just the way it is. I mean, the government's got to make money some way to pave the roads and provide the essential things that we want as a society. But it just seemed like to me that poor folks get left out of that equation. Anyway, what is the lesson of life today? It is the 18th day, believe it or not, of August. And Z graduates basic training this week. Now he told me yesterday he got his patch on. So now he's officially a soldier in the United States Army. Okay. Okay. Now he'll be, and in probably about a year and a half, he'll outrank me, but that's okay. That's okay. It's better than not to outrank me. It is a hard truth that every breath you take, somebody just took their last. So maybe we should stop complaining about the temporary things and be very, very thankful that things aren't as bad as they possibly could be. And that is so true. That is so true. We complain about things that, if you really think about it, in the scheme of things, they really don't matter. Okay. Again, it is a hard truth that every breath that we take, someone just took their last. So we need to stop complaining so much about things sometimes, because our lives could be a whole lot worse than they were. Remember a couple months ago, what happened in Texas? What happens and looks like what happens in Pakistan all the time. Now, is it Pakistan? One of those Indian places where they always have these mud things, these floods where 200,000 people get killed. Why live there? But I guess that's what it is. And the word of the day is accommodate. Now this is the accommodate. See, there's a difference between accommodation and acceptance. And one of the things I get on some churches about used to be it's kind of like the Republican Party telling people that they want black folks to join them. I mean, that's a lie they tell. So as a party, not all the Republicans, of course, as a party, because they accommodate you. In other words, in public, they say, "Hey, we want you to come on over here," but they won't ever put a lot of money behind a black candidate. So I don't believe them either. Okay, I don't believe them. I'm like what's that guy's name? I'm like Mahatma Gandhi. Or Gandhi said, "Listen, I love I love Christianity, but some of them Christians I can do without. I feel you. I know what you mean. Anyway, moving on to other things today. And it's a hard day today. Like, where's my thing? Where is my thing? Where's my thing? Where's my piece of paper at? Oh, that's the wrong piece of paper right there. All right then. So moving right along. Okay, I had all this stuff. Oh, there we go, right there. There it is. I got it. Okay, I was looking for my stuff here. Okay, and it wasn't where I put it, but now it is. I need a producer. I need to be like Rush Limbaugh, somebody who has a whole bunch of people working for me. Setting this stuff up for me so I can survive the mornings. I'm moving this from here and from that to there. Okay, so let's get on to something that's serious here. Okay. Now here's one thing I got to ask people. I was reading something yesterday, and somebody said that we as Americans don't need 3 meals a day. And I got to thinking about what he said. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, how many places in the world do you get 3 meals a day? Maybe that's why we're so fat around here. Because we get 3 meals, and I did say we get 3 meals a day when we really don't need 3. As a matter of fact, I think if you eat enough in the morning, I ought to ask you to the next day. So what y'all think? I think it's a way. Oh, Jamel Brown is hitting the campaign. Yeah. Okay, well, listen. We just gonna sit on Jamel Brown. We are pretty much just gonna sit on the corner with some popcorn and see how this works out. Unfortunately, I think he makes a mockery of our and I like him as a kid. I mean, listen, he's no different than any other kid. You try and think, put your hand there, put your hand, but he makes a mockery of our system, and I'm not really worried about him. I'm worried about the people that are going to vote for him. Okay, I'm worried about the people that are going to vote for him. But hey, listen, he has a right to do it. Has a right to do it. But I just well, we're gonna leave that one alone. But he has a right to do it. And so I want to check. Man, it's I. Okay, can we just go ahead? Okay, can we just go ahead and realize that I'm not going to pronounce idea as rather than idea. Okay, I'm going to pronounce it idea. Okay, that now I'm a Hoosier. That's the way we pronounce the word. I apologize for that. Y'all need to tell them people to respell it. Okay, that's all I'm telling. Anyway, good morning to you. So now let's talk about do we need 3 before we get into something uh, serious today. So do we really need 3 meals a day, or do we do that because it keeps commerce going? Okay. I mean, just think if we didn't buy as many groceries as we did, people wouldn't need all them EBT cards that we do. And because how in the world did people last years ago when they didn't have enough food for 3 meals a day? I'm just thinking it was a thought. It was a thought that I don't even know if we need 2 meals a day. I mean, sometimes I go the whole day without eating but one thing, Taco Bell. But other than that, I don't know if we need 3 meals a day. 2 maybe, breakfast and dinner. Okay, that's it. We don't really need lunch. Really. I mean, so if ever get a business again, you work for me. Yeah, won't be no lunch breaks. Now, it won't be no lunch breaks. Y'all gonna work, till you get off and go home and eat. All right, I'm just saying. And let me see now. And here's something I wonder. Now, I have never been pulled out my car by the police. Okay, once I was back in 1980, 81, 82, somewhere around there, because I pissed off the sheriff in Pierce County in Washington State. Um, no. I think I was at Fort Bragg. One of them places. No, it was in Washington, Fort Lewis. And so they got behind me. I'm thinking I'm somebody. What the hell are you doing behind me? So they yanked me in the car and beat the snot out of me for a little bit there. And I said, well, I didn't talk any smack to him anymore. But I'm wondering though, and these people, the police said we're gonna bust your window. Now, I don't know if the government has the authority to bust my windows out because I won't get out the car. I don't know. I love to have a policeman, to tell us something because that doesn't seem quite right to me. That don't. So you can bust my car out of my house. I mean, my glass out my car. Oh, pork chop Brown. Yeah, he probably likes pork chops too. Okay, but Jamel is right. Yeah. So does anybody know legally? Can the police just pull you out your car because you're not getting out fast enough for them or something like that? I mean, is there not a law? I mean, and then they got this thing called a puncher where they'll come. Now I haven't heard about it happening in Montgomery too often. Okay, but it seems to be something. I mean, you can't go on YouTube or any place like that where these videos have been taken to police officers where they just want to bust your window out your car. I mean, really, and I just got to understand legally. Can people on a traffic stop? Can the police actually make you get out of your car? That I do not know, and that's interesting. Um, but anyway, uh oh, what Boo Man doing? Boo Man is I'll see what he doing later on. They got something going on up there. All right then. But anyway, y'all know Boo Man Heritage Barbershop. Yeah, tell the boys I said hi over there. Some of his folks in there don't like me because I vote for Trump, but they'll get over it. Now they don't convince me why I shouldn't. They're just mad at me because I do. Well, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Anyway, so can the police just yank you out of bust your window legally to yank you out of your car? There's just something about that seems un-American. I mean, I know they can. Oh. Hey, listen. He won't come on the show. He won't come on the show. I mean, he'll go where the teenagers are, 18, 19, 20-year-old people, because they don't have any life experiences and they don't care. I mean, but listen, but he's all right now. He's all right with me. He has a right to run for the governor's show or any other thing. Let's see, he's ran for the city council. He's ran for mayor. Listen, you get your name in the paper for a little while, and then you're somebody for a little while until after they say how bad you got beat. So good. And another thing, and I was looking at the police chief the other day talk about all the drones. Listen, I don't have a problem with them drones. If there's a guy on the radio named Ralph Featherstone who used to work for WXVI, and Ralph had a saying: if you don't want to hear it, don't let it happen. I don't have a problem. Give us anything we need to make this city a little bit safer than what it has been lately. I don't have a problem with it, okay? So, yes, let's use the drone, okay? Yeah, let's use them. Also, Friday, we couldn't even get out of Friday without somebody getting shot, okay? But again, according to WSFA, Montgomery police were investigating 2 shootings that injured 3 people on yesterday morning. As a matter of fact, this ain't even Friday. MPD responded to the hospital around 1:30 a.m. and then again around 6:30 a.m. So, they took a break for a little while and then they kept on shooting. Officers found a man and woman both suffering from gunshot wounds. The man's injuries were not life-threatening. The woman's were. And according to police, MPD has not confirmed that if the victims were taken to the same hospital or if the shootings are connected. And they probably are. They also have not confirmed that the incidents happened. The story will be updated as more information is available. So that was yesterday. I mean, can we take a break off on Sunday of shooting each other? I mean, can we do that? Okay. And here's one. Now, I know the race card's going to be played on this one. Okay. New Orleans mayor indicted on federal charges, accused of using funds for personal relationship. Now, I know they're gonna bring, and they already brought up the race card on this. I feel you. Okay, I guarantee you though, she's a Democrat. Yeah, she's a Democrat. Now, not to say that Republicans don't steal a little bit too. Sometimes they do, but I don't think they bring out the race card when they get caught. They may say, "Well, I was depressed," or had something. They give us some mental illness excuse, which I'd rather hear the mental illness excuse, because sometime a day we all get some kind of mental illness. So I'm just saying, but the race car is going to come out of this, as we said. The indictment also alleges that the two concealed a romantic relationship, which ain't my business who they go out with, while Vappy was on the mayor's executive protection detail. So in other words, one of the guys that were protecting us was doing other things to her. Hey, that's okay. They're grown people. That they grown people. But sometimes mixing business and pleasure at the same time is not necessarily a great thing to do. Do y'all agree with that? Yeah, I agree with that too. Jermaine can run for homecoming queen in high school and still didn't win. Okay, then we're gonna leave that one alone. All right, then moving right along to other things. Now, the president the other day went to Alaska, Joint Base well, how you pronounce that word? Armendorf, whatever it is. Anyway, it's air base up there. I think it's near Fort Wainwright. But anyway, so he went up there. And now I must tell you, I thought he's gonna bring back some goodies. I thought he's gonna say, okay, the war in Ukraine is over, but I think him and Putin both got a little ego, so one's not gonna really give in to the other. Trump is the big boy, and Putin is kind of a small guy. Reminds me of the mayor, as a matter of fact. But small guys have what we call penis envy. Sometimes, they since they're not tall, they kind of got to make up for it in other places. Based Elmendorf, as a matter of fact, Richardson, in Alaska. Anyway, President Trump failed to secure agreement from Vladimir Putin on Friday to end Russia's war in Ukraine. I really don't know I really don't know what I feel about that whole thing in Ukraine, because from what I have done research on Zelensky, he is not the greatest. He is not the greatest leader that they've ever had, and they're missing all kinds of money. Now, here's what I don't understand about him. Now, he goes all around the world, and nobody shot him or anything yet. I mean, he just comes in and out of there like maybe they got a special place, air corridor that he gets to fly, and nobody else gets to fly. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know if I like the guy or not. As a matter of fact, I know he used to be a comedian, and but hey, listen, they voted for him, and he's their duly elected representative of Ukraine. And okay, I guess that's what they like. Now, did you hear about what happened in Daphne, Alabama, the other day? Did you hear what happened? Well, a man in Alabama is accused of killing his wife, 2 children, in a murder-suicide that left the community shocked. And this was in Daphne. I don't know where Daphne is, but it's not that far from here, I don't think. Kenneth Smith, 44, is suspected of shooting his wife, Ladrika Gaines Smith, 41, and his 2 children, 15-year-old Christian Smith and 11-year-old Ken Smith. If he wasn't dead, I'd kill him. Why would you hurt your children? I mean, if you want to do yourself, go ahead, have a good time in it. Okay, it's down near Mobile. Okay, I mean, do your and listen. You know what really surprised me? Do you know what really surprised me? You know what really surprised me on this issue, right? You know what? You can almost tell it by my voice. What do you think surprised me about this? Okay, come on. Somebody knows. What do you think surprised me about this guy killing his family and himself? What do you think surprised me? Somebody knows. Okay. Kenneth Smith Jr., 44, kills his wife, Larika Gaines Smith, and their 2 children, 15-year-old Christian Smith and 11-year-old. I mean, it won't even. Yes, that's what it was, bro. That is what surprised me. I mean, we don't mind shooting each other once in a while, but when you're killing your whole family, I mean, what kind of derangement is that? Nobody saw this coming. Oh. And the kids are absolutely gorgeous kids. Matter of fact, can I get the okay, let me see if I can get the picture of these kids up, because you guys probably didn't see them. Let me see now. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Well, I can't see. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Wait. Entire screen. Okay. There they are right there. Okay. There they are right there. If you want to see them, uh, oop, let me see if I can get them. Let me see if I can get them back. Okay, then. Do. Share the screen. Share the screen. Okay, let's go back over here. But anyway, they are there. It amazes me how a human being can do that. I cannot fathom somebody doing that kind of thing. I just can't. No, I just can't. I can't understand it. I don't. I'll never understand somebody do that. And they were black guys. It's a black guy. At least I think it was a black guy. I mean, I haven't seen a picture of him. I just seen a picture of his family. Um, but it just doesn't make much sense to me um, that kind of thing could go on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There they are, right there. You see who they are right there. That's them right there. A great, just look like the kind of family that everybody would like to have. You know. Um, wow. I mean, my lord. Why would you do that? Why would somebody do that? You know, why would well, I don't know. It's too late now to talk about it. Um, just a great family, just a great looking family. That boy must have had some issues. That's all I can say. I don't. I mean, I just don't. I'll never understand that. I will never ever understand why people would do such a thing to their kids. Grown people have differences sometimes, but to hurt your children, there's a special place in hell. I hope for that man because that just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, the neighbors are all in shock. Everybody's in shock about um, about what's going on, and of course they would be. And yeah, it was a black person. Um, what a beautiful family. Just go to show you though, evil is evil, and I guess not a whole lot we can do about evil. Sometimes it is just there, and not much we can do about it. Anyway, move right along to other things. But anyway, and that's the sad thing about life is that it goes on, doesn't it? Okay. As a matter of fact, his wife said they celebrated their wedding anniversary 2 weeks ago and was happy about it. So they said they don't understand what happened. I guess we'll never know. You know, we will never know what was inside this guy's mind when he did that. He'll never know. We'll never know. Okay. Now here's something that we always talk about um, when we. Who's this? Hello.
Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
Going pretty good. How you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. Look, as far as that couple, you're right. You don't know the makeup of it because Kenneth Smith can go either way, and the lady is obviously probably more or less a woman of color, and from the pictures, it looked like it's a diverse family. So that's one thing. But another thing too, I want to mention that you know, it's evil, to do something like that. And mental health is real. There's a possibility it could be, like you said, he has issues, and it could be possibly a mental health issue. To do that, you got to be. I don't want to use the word crazy, but you got to be crazy to do something like that. I don't know what person in their right mind would take out their family. Their namesake for one. Didn't you say that the son is named Ken?
Uh, Christian with a K.
Oh, Christian.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's not Junior. He's not the Junior
No,
then.
no.
But still, same thing. That's an evil act. but also, I would be kind of curious to know whether or not it's, some mental health issues because it's going around and it's real. But now you were mentioning Zelensky and how you don't care for him, and he's not, he's not your favorite person.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, they were invaded. They were occupied.
They were, but he had a history before they were invaded of not necessarily doing his due diligence to lead these people honestly. So I mean, there's some history behind him too.
Kevin, if that wasn't the case, they wouldn't have elected him, and he wouldn't have had the approval rating.
Wait a minute, we elected Trump, didn't we? Because what we had was worse.
Well, Kevin, Kevin, he wouldn't buy down to Russia, and that was the thing. He wanted to be a country that believed in democracy. He wanted a free and fair election, unlike Trump. But we're not going to get into that.
What happened to the? Oh, there you go. See, you had to,
Kevin.
But what happened to all the money that we've sent to them over there? They sent $1 billion over to him, and they cannot tell us where all the money is.
Kevin, I mean, Kevin, how do you know this, and where does that come from?
Oh, if it were Trump, you would have said, okay.
Kevin, now we're saying if it were somebody, whatever. Think about this, Kevin. Suppose we were invaded, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a third country tell us to give up our land to Russia or whoever the invader is. America wouldn't stand for that. We will fight to the last man to protect our country.
Of course we would.
Of course we would. So, our problem as a country sometime, and I served in the military, and I've been around the world, and I had an opportunity to listen to other countrymen and all this other stuff. And our problem, Kevin, is that we're arrogant as a country. We're arrogant. We think we're better than other people. We go to other folks' houses. We disrespect it. In other words, we go to other people's country and disrespect it. Put ourselves in their shoes. You wouldn't want to be taken over by communist country.
Right. I'm not talking about. I mean, of course, man, they are a sovereign country. They were invaded. But let me ask you something. Wait a minute. Was not Israel a sovereign country? And we don't see, some of you folks don't seem to be as sympathetic to them.
How do we get on this subject, Kevin? That's where we were on Ukraine.
We take our picks and chooses.
Kevin, I 100% support Israel.
Okay, then
I just don't support the current government they got right now. Because Netanyahu reminds me of Trump in a sense. Netanyahu is trying to keep this war going because he's facing criminal charges, and his own people, his favorability is in the tank. His own people.
At one time Lincoln didn't have great favorability either.
Kevin.
Yeah, neither did Reagan. Reagan.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Lincoln didn't have great favorability from the South because he was threatening to take the South resources of income. He was threatening to plummet their economy, and their economy was based on slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got into a fist fight when he was a congressman in there over something like that. He fought another congressman, got into a fist fight over that. So that's the thing. Yeah, of course he wasn't favored in the South. He wasn't favored in the South.
Favorability does not make a leader.
Kevin,
what makes a leader, though, sometimes the people don't like you. Right decision.
What makes a leader of this country is remembering that you're for the people and other people, and the people hired you, and you listen to the people. You don't go and just make decisions all free and willy-nilly, not listening to the people. Kevin, his decision making, his thinking is totally off. And I would rather go for that than to say he's intentional about the crazy things he does. You know what he said the other day, Kevin?
What did he say?
He said, and this is getting ready to come out. This is getting ready to make it. This is getting ready to come out. He said that Russia was right. We shouldn't have absentee ballots, and everybody should vote in person. And he said, because he said that Putin said that, and he said Putin told him that he won the election in 2020, so therefore he's going to sign an executive order.
He did win
in 2020, Kevin.
Yeah, they cheated the man.
Okay, Kevin. Okay, well then, if he won in 2020, Elon Musk and Trump cheated the election in 2024 with Kamala Harris. How about that?
No, nobody wanted her.
Nobody wanted Trump.
He made president, didn't he? Of course, somebody wanted.
And Kevin,
Yeah.
think about. I'm talking about 2020 when they elected Joe Biden
But let me
to be
ask you a
president
question.
in
Let
2021.
me ask you. We can talk about it all we want to. It won't
Sure.
change the current situation. The
No,
president of the
no, it
United
won't.
States is Donald Trump. Whether you like it or not,
Of
you
course,
know,
of course,
it's Donald Trump.
of course it is, Kevin. And what Donald
Let's
Trump
stop
is
whining.
trying to
You're a
do
Democrat.
is run for a third. Well, I put it this way: he made a perfect call to Texas, just like he made a perfect call to Georgia, saying, "Find me
And I
11,780
have no
votes."
problem with that.
Now,
I have
and
no
now
problem
he
with that.
made a perfect call to Texas, saying, "Be damned with the practices and the norms. Go ahead and gerrymander and get me 5
So
Congress
you
seats."
don't wait,
Because
wait. So you don't believe that when Philadelphia and about 4 other states changed their voting
Kevin,
laws, wait a minute,
Ke-
changed their voting laws 2 days before the election without going to Congress.
Kevin,
So
Kevin,
you don't think they changed things?
Kevin, I don't know much of detail, but I do know that it went to court. It went to the Supreme Court, and the
Okay.
Supreme Court signed off on it. A Trump-appointed conservative Supreme Court said it was appropriate.
Okay. Well, every court has been put there by somebody.
Yes, a Republican. It's stacked 7 to doggone 6 to 3.
I'm glad because now we know what a woman is and what a woman ain't.
Exactly, Kevin. But also understanding that the Supreme Court decided on this voting thing that you're talking about in Philadelphia. And Kevin, normally
This was I'm talking about during that election. What they did was they ignored the law on
Kevin,
elections.
It was, and it went before the Supreme Court, which was a conservative Supreme Court.
Well, listen,
That
I know.
Trump
Let
had
me ask something.
appointed.
It's already done.
Yes.
It's already done.
Yes, it is.
The man's
Yes,
president.
it is.
So whether you
It's
like it or
done.
not, it's already done. Why are we talking about it?
Well, Kevin, yeah, and I agree, it's done.
Yeah.
But my thing is that our way of life here in America is threatened. It is.
And you believe that? Show me how.
120%, Kevin.
Show me what
Kevin, I serve.
right.
Okay, I show you, Kevin.
Show me.
Whenever you put the National Guards onto an entire city or state,
Yeah.
without any provocation,
He
and the
did have
National Guard,
provocation.
Kevin,
He did have provocation.
Kevin, I served in the National Guard.
I did.
It was
I did
basically
too. I did too. I served in
Kevin,
the National Guard in Georgia.
during that time, Kevin, the National Guard was for disasters and also for natural disasters.
They are to be used by the behest of the governor.
Kevin, of course.
And they don't have a governor. And they don't have a governor in Washington,
because of
D.C.
Kevin, of course, and I get that. A lot of us were deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan via National Guard and Army Reserve, and I get that. But whenever you stick them or put them on your own countrymen, there lies a problem. Kevin, I put it this way, and I promise you this.
Yeah, bro.
Had we been going through this before I joined the military, I would have never joined the National Guard.
Well,
if I knew
you wasn't hungry enough.
Kevin, if I knew that there was a chance that I would have to go against my own community. Kevin, think about it. These people in the National Guard go to work, go to school, go to church with these very individuals. And some of them are even served, or they serve those individuals that are actually out there policing them right now. You got to look those individuals in the face. You got to take off that uniform and go to work.
So you think in 2020, when people were grabbing citizens out of their cars on the freeways of America, stomping them and killing them, that the National Guard shouldn't have went out there and fought for them people?
Kevin, what I am telling you is that there's a place for everything, and you do not turn the military against the citizens. The taxpayers, you don't do that. That's what law enforcement is for.
Okay, so what happened at Kent State?
Kevin.
Wait, what happened at Kent State?
Kevin, Kent State.
Yeah.
That situation was totally different, Kevin.
And then
there was a riot. Kevin, there was a violent
Arkansas and Alabama when the president sent the National Guard into the University of Alabama, was it Arkansas, let those girls in that school. Should he not done that?
Kevin, because that had the potential of being a riot.
Y'all full of more crap than a Christmas turkey.
Kevin, there's no comparison. In fact, the crime rate in Washington was going down. And understand this, Kevin.
Okay.
Newsom, Governor Newsom,
He's
in
an idiot
California,
too. He's an idiot.
holding a press conference. Kevin, hold on, holding a press conference
Yeah.
and everything, and they end up getting the Border Patrol to show up at the press conference, nowhere near the border, to
Okay.
harass people that was at the press conference.
Well, that ain't.
That's dictatorship, Kevin.
They have a right to go where the trouble is.
What, no, they don't, Kevin. Almost hundreds and hundreds of miles away from the border.
If
And yet you want to go and employ more Border Patrol because you say you need them? Obviously not. You putting them over there on the governor of California because you don't like what he's saying. So
I don't like him at all. He lets his city be burned up. He let his city. He let his city be taken over by lawlessness. And if you look over there, we got more people living in the streets in California and living in houses.
Kevin, you just answered your own question about Kent State and also Arkansas.
So we have,
you just answered your own question. There was a lot of lawlessness. You had people being hung from the trees. You had the KKK was literally killing
Lord
people.
have mercy. Here we go back to that. What in the hell?
Kevin, you brought up Kent State, and you brought up Arkansas and the National Guard.
The National Guard has always been used.
Kevin, you brought only in hostile situations or natural disasters, Kevin.
So
I served 20 years, and I was a senior NCO.
So when
Kevin, you also and Kevin and our rules, and you was an NCO as well. You had a duty,
right? So when diplomats get killed, and when diplomats get killed in Washington D.C., who was
the diplomat?
Oh,
Kevin?
You don't know nothing about that. A diplomat got killed from Israel. I think Jewish diplomat got killed. 2 of them got murdered when the Secret Service people are robbed and vehicles.
Kevin, then you and they got the people too without the National Guard. Kevin.
How you know?
What you do is you use the police, you use the FBI, you use federal, you use the marshals to do the job, and they've been doing a great job thus far, Kevin.
But wait a minute. Let's talk about 9/11. Let's talk about January 6th. The police couldn't even handle that.
Kevin,
the police
January the 6th. Now you're talking about Mr. Law and Order, who goes and pardon all these people that was beating up Law and Order.
The police.
And he goes now. He's talking about Kevin. He's talking about he's for Law and Order, but yet he goes and pardon all of these individuals.
I would have pardoned them too.
Main these police officers.
Yeah, listen. I understand. I understand you have an illness, and it's called being a Democrat.
No, Kevin, I have a propensity for common sense.
Okay.
And everything, because you're double talking now, Kevin. You brought up January the 6th.
Because that shows you that the police had the inability to control things just for the folks down at the Capitol.
Kevin,
they had the inability to do it. They didn't do it.
Okay, but Kevin, well, I'll put it this way. Trump went and pardoned all of these individuals.
I would have to. They had a right to be mad.
Now you're double talking because law and order is law and order, and you use the system.
But
the people voted and made their decision, and he couldn't deal with it.
And also said we have a right to redress grievances to our government.
Yes, peacefully, Kevin. You don't go and destroy the Capitol, and you don't go and hurt people. You don't go and physically hurt people flying Confederate flags, flying Confederate flags inside the Capitol. You don't go and do that.
Why don't you? We got people around here flying their nation's flags in front of their houses in America. And they
flying what now?
We got people.
Flying what, Kevin?
Wait, we got people flying their flags where they come from in America.
Kevin, I put it this way. I would rather for those flags to fly than a Confederate flag, because those Confederate flags represented something that was totally oppression, depression, killing, enslaving black people, and insurrection. Okay. So I would rather have a person that's proud of their country, where they came from, flag flown, than a flag like that meant this country no good. Okay. It was treasonous what they did.
You do know the people who write the story get to tell it.
Kevin, we know, Kevin.
I don't know.
Kevin, my parents are all, my dad is almost 90 years old. He lived it. His grandfather was born in his father was born in 1888. Yes, 1888. Their parents lived it. They told the story, Kevin. Mm-hmm. It's still If it's not slavery, it's Jim Crowism. These people live through it.
Man, don't you guys ever let that go?
Kevin, you brought up Kent State in Arkansas.
Yeah,
You brought that up.
because you
And that was during that time.
because you
That was
said
during
the
that time.
National Guard is not being used in America. Yes, it
I
has.
said National Guard. I didn't say
Remember
anything about that era, did I, Kevin?
about that what?
You brought that up.
But I had to correct you.
Oh, well, then I had to correct you.
Okay.
You see how that works?
All right.
Yeah, you see how that works, man?
Okay.
Those who fail to acknowledge history are doomed to repeat it.
Right.
And Kevin, we're heading back that way. And
I am glad you live down south because this is the place for you.
Well, Kevin, you
can always go back to the past.
I grew up, Kevin. You know what? I grew up a military brat. I can honestly say I was exposed to Europe and other states and countries outside of down south. I joined the military after my dad retired in 1980, and we moved back to the States. I joined the military in 87. I've been around, Kevin, and then my military years. So I've been exposed. I've seen.
Yeah.
I know better. I've seen better.
Yeah, I know.
And I know that right now we can do better. So you're not just talking to anybody that haven't left the South or haven't left the backwoods or anything.
I don't
Kevin.
believe we're doing that bad now.
Kevin, we're getting worse. We're getting worse. How about that?
It ain't getting worse because of Trump.
Yes. Oh Lord, have mercy.
I ain't mad at
Kevin, when you're going and you're going and you're circumventing the court system in order to send these people. Send these people out.
Listen, that's the only thing about him I don't agree with. But they circumvented the court system on a couple of elections underneath him.
See, Kevin, you know you're making excuses. You're the
I gotta go, man. I gotta go. I gotta go because I'm about ready to cry.
Right, take care.
I love you.
Okay.
I gotta get the tears. I gotta get some paper here. Anybody remember this thing called the Bonus Army? Sometimes called the Bonus Expeditionary Force. It was a group of World War I veterans. In 1932, during the Great Depression, about 15 to 20,000 veterans and their families marched to Washington, D.C. After World War I, Congress promised veterans a bonus payment for their wartime service, set to be paid in 1945. And the government decided, forget y'all, okay? But by 1932, the Great Depression had left many veterans unemployed, homeless, and desperate. They wanted the bonus paid early to help them survive. So what happened was that veterans set up a massive shanty town of tents like they do in Seattle and other places in America and around the Capitol. They lobbied Congress, but the Senate voted down a bill to pay the bonus early. President Herbert Hoover ordered them to leave. Then comes the U.S. military against those veterans. In 1932, U.S. Army troops under the General Douglas MacArthur, with Major Dwight David Eisenhower and George S. Patton involved, used bayonets, tear gas, and cavalry to forcefully remove the veterans, and their encampments were burned down. Several people were injured. At least 2 veterans were killed. So don't tell me that we never used the military. We have used the military on a number of occasions. That's a matter of fact. So, okay, don't tell me. Okay, but Democrats only got short memories. I ain't mad at them. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I mean, my Lord. Hey, GP, send me that picture through Messenger so I can put it on the screen and let people see who these people are. Okay, Kevin, you become an overly dramatic drama. I'm not drama queen. I just don't like hypocrisy. I just don't like hypocrisy. You can't blame one group and not focus on the tactics of another group. But I ain't mad at you. Don't get me wrong. And again, here's the question that I've asked on many occasions. If Trump was so bad, and he's bad for America, that's what people think. If he's so bad and he got elected anyway, okay, what does that tell you about the people that were in there? Now, seriously, if he was this bad, like you guys say that he is, then why did he get elected? He got elected because the people in there were worse. Now we find out that the former president of the United States, hell, didn't even sign anything. He had an auto pen, and hell, he couldn't even find the auto pen. So people signed things for him. Okay. The only thing I agree with Biden on doing, the only thing I agree here doing is I would have pardoned my son also. I know he lied, said he wasn't going to do, but we knew he was. I mean, I would have had a lot of disrespect for the president had he not pardoned his own son. Because if he don't pardon his own son, ain't nobody else getting one. Okay, I'm just saying. So I just hate. Okay, I just hate the hypocrisy. We can find everything that everybody else did wrong, but won't acknowledge what we did. Okay. What about the congressman who went when they're trying to get a vote on? He went down there and pulled the fire alarm. Okay, he should have been incarcerated at least for 30 days for what he did. That was against the law. But he was a Democrat, and nobody said much about it. Okay, I'm just saying. So Democrats do things, but all they can do is bring up the race card, and next thing you know, although most Democrats are white, not black, but I want you to know this: the only people Democrats put out front when they want something done that's nefarious, they put out black people. When black folks make up hardly none of the Democratic Party, hardly none. Okay, none. We make up 13% of the population of America, and all of them and then they don't vote. But why is it that they only put out black folks in front when there's an issue that the Democrats want to screw us on? Okay. Somebody said you got Trump derangement syndrome, which I'm with you on that. You got hypocrite at your highest. Camilla, I just want you to tell me where I am a hypocrite. Okay. Guy said that we never pulled troops on U.S. Yeah, we did. We did in 1932. We did in Kent State. Yeah, we have. I mean, I used to be a National Guard. That was part of our duty, was to go where we're told to go, do what we're told to do, because I was only a National Guard for a year. But I was a National Guard in a place called Calhoun, Georgia. Oh, yeah. But anyway, the violent removal shocked the nation and hurt Hoover's reputation, contributing to his defeat by Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1932 election. In 1936, Congress finally passed a law over Roosevelt's veto to pay the bonus early. The bonus army is remembered as a turning point in how America viewed the government's responsibility toward its veterans. Okay, so I'm just saying. So it has happened. Okay, it has happened, and it will probably happen again. It will probably happen again. We hope it doesn't, but it'll probably happen again. Okay, I hope it don't, but that's where it goes. And I'm still trying to figure out where I'm a hypocrite. Just tell me, come on, man. The Trump butt glass does not look good on you. Again, y'all keep forgetting something here. Now I've told you this on a number of occasions. I'm not too crazy about Trump, but I do believe in the things that he believes in, and that one particular thing that I believe that he believes is make America first. America so long has not been the priority of most people in Washington, D.C. It has been them getting rich. How else did Nancy Pelosi, who is now a multi-millionaire, who went there, and even though her husband, she helped him out too. She helped him out too. Okay. Anyway, let me take a little break, but I'll be back. Okay, I get my blood pressure up, so let me go take my blood pressure pill. Okay, so y'all hang loose, and I'll be right back in about 3 minutes. Okay. Okay. Back in 3 minutes. So we all can take a break right now. Okay, and we can all take a break, and and regroup. Regroup. So, yeah, hang loose. I'll be back in a minute. I gotta get my glass of milk, but I don't have milk right now. I ran out, so I got to get me some sugar free. I got to get me some sugar free Sprite. So I'll be back. Uno momento. Okay. So we'll be back. Hang loose. Going into place. We'll be back. We gotta calm y'all down.
quiet of the morning light, hands raised high in pure delight, thankful whispers in a gentle breeze, grateful heart with such sweet ease. Thank you, Lord, for every breath I take, for the love that heals and the joy you make in the tapestry of life. I see your grace, every moment filled with your warm embrace. Through valleys deep and mountains high, your faith a beacon in the sky. Every trial with lessons wrapped tight, in every shadow you are my light. Thank you, Lord, for the laughter and tears, for the strength you give in all my fears. In the rhythm of my heart, I hear your call. With grateful songs, I rise above all. Through storms that rage and skies of blue, each day I wake and I choose you. In every heartbeat, in every prayer, thankful for life and the love we share. Thank you, Lord, for the journey we take, for the dreams that soar, and the paths we make in this symphony.
Okay, enough of that. As a matter of fact, Marcel probably or Marty didn't get the message, didn't get the memo that in Washington D.C. in 90 days they had 469 shootings. 469 shootings. I mean, that's almost enough bullets to go across the horizon that you think it's a combat zone. Okay, so the police in Washington D.C. for whatever reason, I don't know. I've never been a police person, but I have been a National Guard. I've never been a police person, but I do know 469 shootings in less than 90 days is that's a lot of people shooting in your city. That's a lot of people, and evidently they can't handle it. Okay, diplomats got killed in Washington, and you get enough. And you talking about diplomats represent countries, okay? And you cannot let people come from another country come over here in the capital city and be murdered like some have been. Okay, so let me see. Diplomats killed in D.C. I'm gonna tell you who it was the other day because I had all this information the other day, but they were killed from I believe they're from Jerusalem. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Okay. There was a shooting that's right. There was a shooting this year at the Capitol Jewish Museum. The victims were Yaron Lisinski, a German-Israeli research assistant at the Israeli Embassy, Sarah Lynn Milgram, an American Jewish employee coordinating visits and missions for the embassy. The couple were engaged and deeply involved in the peace-building efforts. And what happened? On May 21st this year, while leaving a young diplomat's reception at the Capitol Jewish Museum. Both were fatally shot by a man who then entered the museum and was apprehended. He didn't have enough grace to shoot his own self. Was apprehended. Okay, Elias Rodriguez. Okay, 30 to 31 years old, from Chicago. He openly chanted "Free, free Palestine," which is he got a right to his own view, but you cannot have that kind of stuff. You cannot have that. Last time somebody was killed in America, I think it was 1973. You cannot have that kind of thing going on in your capital city. Okay, 469 shootings in 90 days. Now I would imagine now that was from March till May. I would imagine they've got a hell of a lot more in that now. I'll look that up a little later on. Okay, I'm just saying, y'all. So tell me, tell me where I'm a hypocrite. I just want to know where the hypocrisy is. Because I have to know these things because I want to know. Okay, make America great again. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I don't like the way we handling immigration. I do not like that. I understand the necessity of having to send people. I would just close the border. Okay, and for a couple of years, don't let anybody in at our borders. Just don't let anybody in. We got to figure out what we got here first. So I'd say close the border. People are here, and I certainly don't agree with people who've been here their whole life sent back to a country where they know nothing about. I certainly don't. I don't believe in we should do that for people. And their kids are not responsible for what their parents do. Okay, parents are responsible for what their kids do. Well, they say I don't think he's actually closed the border. I think when they say that, that means that the trickle of people coming in illegally essentially has closed the border. But I don't think the border is actually closed. Because if that were the case, then we wouldn't have the borders in San Diego open up so people would come. Because then we would have commerce messed up, because the North American Free Trade Agreement, remember the North American NAFTA? I think that's still in effect somehow. I think Trump did a little bit to change it, but we still do commerce with these people. And I just think you got to open, but I think they've gotten it down to a trickle of people, but I'm not sure because you never know. You never know. I don't. Let me see. Is the border closed? I don't think. BOR. I don't think it is. I don't think the United States border is closed. I think they've gotten it down again to the point where we're not. Okay, you see, yes, the border. I don't really. Generally, okay. So again, from Canada and Mexico said open for lawful travel. Ports of entry along the U.S. Canadian and the U.S. Mexican border remain operational for both essential and non-essential purposes. So the borders are still open, but essentially they say they closed because they've stopped so many people from coming through here. It got so bad for a minute there under Biden and Obama that we had people getting on trains, 1,600 people getting on trains on the outside of the train, having road marches like Z had last week, except their road march was like 100 miles, whereas Z only had to go 10. But he told me last night that his legs really hurt because they had to get down on the ground while they were shooting rifles over their head. I can understand. They did that for everybody. Yeah, said he had to crawl on that dirt. Right on, baby. That's what makes you a soldier. Okay, that's what the training is all about. Okay. Oh, so-called legal. Yeah, it's still going on. I'm pretty sure it's not to the extent that it has been. Again, I think we ought to just close the borders totally. Don't let anybody in for at least 18 months. It ain't like we don't have enough people here already. We got plenty of people. We got plenty of people in America right now. But anyway, moving right along to other things. I had them. The ACLU of Alabama holds its first Atoning Alabama workshop. The ACLU of Alabama held its first workshop on its new initiative, Atoning Alabama, a prison create an environment of survival. Okay, and when they survive, there are I don't really know what that means, but Atoning Alabama is designed to help people learn how to support incarcerated loved ones. And which brings me to one of the things I was going to ask today. Okay. So what is this right here? Where is it okay to pee and do because you're upset? You got me on that one. Yeah. There are, Dr. Joe. So again, I asked the question: what is the purpose of immigration? Because it can't be land. We got plenty of land in this country that is vacant. So it's not land. Then what is it? And honestly, I just think it's a little bit of prejudice. I think it's a little bit of a prejudice about people. Um, Here's my problem, though. Used to be when people landed at Ellis Island, it used to be that they came here to be Americans. We don't have, Again, let me make this straight. Black folks are the only people in this country that are not immigrants. Everybody else, they're immigrants. So, and they wanted to come here to start a new life under the qualities of representative government and with an opportunity to be as whatever they could be if they was willing to put in the work. Some people came with 50 cents in their pocket and that was it. So something is certainly has happened since then. Okay. So, I can't tell you the answers to that, but it is not land that is the problem. I think it is a combination of culture, misunderstanding. There is one group of people though, and I don't know how to put this. There is one group of people, and I can't say everybody because I'm kind of ignorant to their traditions. But there's one group of people, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong. Whose tenets of their beliefs are inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States of America. I do believe that to be so. Now they can convince me that it isn't where you subjugate women, where to they don't really mean much to you. Where you kill people if they're gay, even though I can't stand, I don't want to be gay, but I think people have a right. Their judge will be God, not me. I think that's kind of inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States because we believe, according to our tenets, that everybody, your ancestors, yeah, they are. What's a settler? You came here to somebody's place when somebody was already here. That makes you an immigrant. I mean, settler. That means you came here and settled down. You migrated to America and you settled down. That's what settler means. Okay, yeah. Okay, Lewis and Clark and all those guys. They were just, I listen. You can use the word settler if you want to, but it's pretty much the same thing. Which I don't blame them. I mean, nobody in this world is where they all began. And here's the question I ask people. Now, here's my question. Did the flood happen or not? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did we have a flood sometime? Did the flood that the Bible speaks of, did it happen? Because if it did happen, which I don't have any doubt to believe that it didn't, because that's what the Bible says. But if it did happen, then that means all of us spurned from the same people. Except that hot sun over there in Africa made a brother dark. Okay? So, what you think? So if the flood happened, then none of us, all of us, every last one of us then are not where we originally were. Can anybody agree on that? We're none of us are where we originally came here from. Okay, so everybody is an immigrant to someplace, except we were bust. I mean, we experienced the first um, the first system of busing, except they called it boating back in the day. Oh yeah, yeah, we boat and they got tired. They just threw you off the boat and said, "Hey, see you on the way back." Okay, then. There had to be some evil people back in them days. I'm just telling you. But we can't live back there forever. Now let me get back to my no it doesn't what. Now get back to this ACLU thing. Because Atoning Alabama is designed to help people learn how to support incarcerated loved ones. The best way to support them is tell them what? They sperm from the same people. I don't know what that means. I think we came from the same group of people. If the flood happened, which I believe it did, then that means we all came from the same people initially. Okay, so so nobody I don't think can really lay claim to particular any particular piece of land. I just I don't how you gonna claim something that was here when you got here? I don't have a clue. How you gonna do that? Hmm. I didn't say that they sperm from the same people. I said they came from the same people. That's different than I mean, somebody used some sperm, but somebody did. But we all came from the same people. I said nothing about sperm. Matter of fact, is that a word? I don't know if that's a word or not. I didn't say that. I'll look back at the tape later on the replay, see if I said sperm. And if I said that, I was wrong. Uh, my brain, it moves so fast sometimes. But let me get back to I really wanted to get into this today, and I didn't get a chance to do it. The ACLU and the Department of Corrections, you know what gets me about the Department of Corrections? They create an environment. They have allowed an environment to exist in our prison system that doesn't give the average guy who wants to get out and make his life better, doesn't make it easy to do. I don't know why people go to prison, they get killed. The other day, someone told me a story about a guy was sitting on somebody's bed, and the what do you call those people who work in the prison? COs, like correction officers, kept giving them disciplinarians because the guy said the guy couldn't sit on his bed because there's somebody on his bed, so he sat on somebody else's bed. And in the prison, I guess you get what's called a deferment. Is it a deferment or they get something? They get written up. Okay, they get written up, which makes your life there even more hell. Rather than, why would you do that to somebody? They already lost their freedom. There's only one person in prison I think that cannot be redeemed. Well, you can't give people their life back. If you're a murderer, you can't give people their life back. But even in the Bible, God used people who murdered people to bring about good. I mean, let's look at Moses. So, but again, you put our young people, and some of them deserve to be in prison, absolutely. But it is not a place to rehabilitate people. It really isn't. It's not a place to where people can get better. I mean, you're gonna keep giving people demerits, but you let them create the environment where Big Bubba and Big Leroy can pretty much tell everybody else what to do. And if you don't do it, then they beat you, sodomize you, and all kinds of things. And now prison is a place where you have to survive, from what I can gather. I'm trying not to get there. It's a place where you have to survive. And when you have to survive, you have to do whatever it is that you have to do to keep Big John off of you. Okay, because you get to looking like a girl to him, especially when you're new there. Um, Only 3% came off the boat unwilling. The rest of us were already here. Show me some proof. Show because if we were here, why are we whining so much then? If black folks are already in America, had things in charge, we had 2400 Jackson Street up in Gary. Show me the proof. Just show me the proof. We like to romanticize about the past, and the truth is that Europeans went to Africa, and Spaniards went to Africa, convinced people with a little gold and little trinkets that these were very valuable things, and they talked to them, and the African people gave other black folks to the white and the Spaniards to bring home slaves. Okay, so again, give me the proof, bro. Show me the proof. Show me the proof that black folks was here already. Just show it to me, and then I'll shut up about it. But now the bottom line is that man is inherently evil to man. We're just inherently evil to man, and we'll always be that way. We've always been that way since Cain and Abel. Okay, that's just the way it goes. Okay, so again, I want to. Oh, you guys got. I never tell people to share the video, to share the likes, whatever case may be, because I'm not trying to make money on this thing. I'm trying to change your mind. Who ended slavery? Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, over here in the West, but over there, they still got it. That's why I say there's a certain group of people whose belief system is inconsistent with our way of life. Okay, not if they want to keep those beliefs, then everybody is not meant to be an American. Okay, it takes special people to be an American, because when you come to America, you are supposed to want to be one of us. And I do say us because I've been here a minute. Okay, stolen language, kept from learning. I agree with you, but what's keeping us from learning now? I agree with you. Listen, we had a rough ride over here. No black people in America have their own name. Okay, we can go along with that. What are we gonna do about it now? What now? Really, what now? Oh, that's how it goes. Okay. Yeah, like and share. My bad. I'll tell people to like, share, and subscribe with a smile on your face. Good. That always helps us, because I don't really even know how you do that. But so we know what happened. We know how we got here. We know how it happened. So what now? What do we do now? I listened to a guy the other day. I'm gonna bring it in here one day. Let you talk to this guy. He pretty much spelled it out. The same way he believes what I believe. You. There's nothing we can do about what happened years and years and years ago. Not a thing. Not a thing. But what we can do is make sure that the future is better than the past. Hey, somebody ought to write that on a T-shirt. Make sure the future is better than the past. If I wasn't so brilliant sometimes, I'd be a professor someplace. Maybe I'd go. Maybe make me an honorary Dr. Elkins. How does that happen anyway? You got to pay for it. Why don't you go live on what? Oh, I didn't know you could. Can you go live on Instagram? Well, I'll have to do that. Yeah, I didn't know you could go live on Instagram. I'm on everything else: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Although Twitch, I ain't too crazy about Twitch. I may have to get off Twitch, because I ain't getting much from there. Can't grow off lies, and I would agree. I would agree, but everybody lies. Everybody, there's not been a man with his lips that have been cut that has not lied. In Africa, they lie. Okay, I don't know why we had this romanticism when Africa there was this great place and they came and got us, and boy, our life would be so different now. We've just been left over there. That's a bunch of bull crap. Okay, have you seen the things that go on over there? They got so many countries over there, and everybody wants their own kingdom. Okay, one country's got 22 million people in it. I mean, we got 22 million people in a couple of states around here. But everybody else, I mean, so let's not be romanticizing, about what's happening over there. What's happening over there? Kids don't eat. A lot of them don't eat. They got diseases that we thought we long since eradicated. So let's not act like Africa is that great. Now there are parts of Africa that are pretty good. I think Nigeria, um, 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 Nigeria, what Malawi. I think there's a couple of countries that do pretty good. As a matter of fact, the president found out a couple of weeks ago that some language in some of those countries is English, but for the most part they speak French. You know, a lot of them speak French because those were the conquerors of the time, and the language caught on. I guess it's kind of a romantic language, though. You know, French is a kind of a parlez-vous français? Parlez-vous français? Yeah, I mean, sounds good to me. I don't know what the hell he said, but I think it means, do you speak French? No, I don't. No. Although I just did speak French. It's parlez-vous français means, do you speak French? Anyway, it's been a great morning. I'm having a good time here, but I didn't get a chance to get to the prison thing. But here's something right here. Okay, now I'm gonna call it a day after this. The Montgomery Police Department reports a decrease. Now, every time they say this, crime goes up. The Montgomery Police Department reports a decrease in violent crimes and robberies following the implementation of stricter operational methods. As a matter of fact, tomorrow sometime we're going to have somebody on the phone with us. He's certainly a live from way back, and I'm going to try to get him on because I just want to hear what he got to say. He puts stuff on Facebook and he puts stuff on YouTube and things like that. So we're going to say, I want to see if he can change my mind. Okay, I want to, if he can change my philosophical views. I want to see if he can do that. He won't be able to, I don't think, but if he does, y'all need to write that one down. Police Chief Grayboy expressed concern over juvenile crime and urged parental involvement. Well, and the only way we're going to get parental involvement, the only way we can talk all that crap we want to, until we start holding these parents accountable for what their underage children do. Okay, and if you don't know where the daddy is, then both of y'all need to go to jail. Okay, that's what needs to happen. We can talk that is just not a word that we need to use. We need parental involvement. Hell, everybody knows that, but we need to find out where the parents are. And mama, if you don't know where the daddy is, then I'm sorry, you need to go to jail. Okay, for child abuse. Okay. Now, if you know where he is, he ain't doing that. And our system needs to be a little tougher on these people who don't do nothing for their kids. Okay. And I don't care about the money so much, although they do need money. But I'm talking about control of those kids. And we can talk all we want to, but until we start making parents accountable for what their children do under the age of 18, we can talk. You know what we're doing? We walking past the graveyard. Act like ain't no dead people over there. There are dead people over there. Because I kind of do that myself when I go down the road. I kind of keep my eyes straight ahead because I look left and say, boy, that's my future place. So I don't want to see that. But anyway, so until we decide to hold these people accountable for the insatiable, ravenous attitude to do crime, these young folk, we can talk all we want to. It don't mean a thing. Okay, they started these changes 7 weeks ago. The department has issued 798 moving violations, 19 arrests as a result of driving details and checkpoints beyond the traffic details. Grayboy said that the department has made 55 serious felony arrests. Now I'm trying to figure out what's a not serious felony arrest. Okay, Gray Boys reported that several crime statistics are down in Montgomery. Okay, they're probably going to go up. Okay, violent crime have been down over a year, 26.2%. I thought it was 28%, but I understand. And robbery numbers are down 40.2%. Well, we need to keep some of them idiots in jail, and they'll be down even further. So if you were a football game, I'd say we are ahead, but we still have further to go. Grayboy said, I'm never going to say we've gone far enough until we reach 0%. Okay, you have a job for a long time. One thing Grayboy said in MPD at the thing is that they were concerned about the rate of juvenile crime in the last 30 days. Again, find out who these people's parents are. Okay, that's what you need to do. But I like the fact that we're using drones. I like that. I like the fact we're using drones. Okay. Now, and somebody is right. What took them so long? I agree with you. Some of this technology's been out for a long time. We had the shot spotter. The shot spotter just tell you somebody shot something. They ain't gonna tell you who did it. So I think that was a waste of money. Oh, the young YNs. I don't know what a YN is, but okay. And YMs. What's a YM? Having the long guns. Oh yeah. And we need to listen. I'm ready to step on somebody's constitutional rights. There's no way in the hell you need to walk down the street with a rifle. There's no way in the hell you need to do that. No way that our founding father said that you should walk down the street with a MAC-10 or M16 or AK-47. No way. Okay. One more thing before we get out of here. Are there any nude beaches in Alabama? Anybody know any beaches where you walk around no clothes on? Now, I wouldn't do that, of course. I mean, even though I got the body of Adonis, I wouldn't do that. I just, because all the girls would just be wild. I couldn't handle the attention. But do we have a nude beach in Alabama? I know we got one in Florida. Okay, stay on. I know we got a beach in Florida. I couldn't, I couldn't, I have to check that out later on. Okay, if we had them. Okay. Anything else on here? Trump nom. Oh, and something else. I'm glad I brought. We never hear about Trump doing great things for black folks, right? We never hear. But guess what he did? He nominated Alabama Supreme Court Justice and Wetumpka resident Bill Lewis has been nominated by President Donald Trump to serve on the federal bench. Now I don't know if is there a black guy in Alabama Supreme Court? I think they got the Alabama Supreme Court Justice and Wetumpka resident Bill. Really? No, we don't have any black folks on the Alabama Supreme Court, do we? I couldn't have missed that one. Let me see. Alabama Supreme Court Justices. I don't believe there's a black guy on there. Alabama Judicial Supreme Court of Alabama. How did that one get behind me? Yeah, we don't have no. I don't know who wrote this article. No, we don't have a black person on the Supreme Court. No, we don't. We don't have to do that. If we did that, I'd have known about that one. Anyway, I don't know what their names are. Well, I got their names right here, but I don't really care what their names are, to tell you the truth. Okay, so interesting. Well, okay, so somebody got this article wrong in the newspaper. Trump nominates Bill Lewis and two others to the federal bench, but he is nominating the guy. Although I got to tell you, whether or not you got a black judge or a white judge, you're still going to jail for the same amount of time. But I'm hoping that they're more empathetic and they understand. But their job is to determine whether or not the law was in accordance with the Constitution of the United States or the Constitution of the state of Alabama. So I don't know if that's got any. There's more of an administrative duty than one. I mean, they don't decide whether or not you go to jail or not. They may decide whether or not you stay in jail or get out, but they don't decide whether or not you go. But anyway, so much for that. Well, folks, I gotta go. And the only reason why I do stay on for 2 hours because in order to replay these shows, they can only be 2 hours. Okay, so I can't be staying on for 3 hours. So I got to go, but we'll see you guys at another time. Okay, I promise. Okay, Z has done over 1 million push-ups, and he's coming home to kick your butt. Yeah, he might be. But I'm gonna try not to make him mad or anything like that because we do what. I mean, I'm trying not to make him mad because I know he's stronger than I am. Okay, somebody got to tell me what a YM is. I don't have a clue what that is. But I think I know what the word YN is. I think I know what the N stands for, but I don't know what the YM stands for. Yankee Mike, and then Yankee November. Anyway, I gotta go. Y'all can text me if you want to. 922-3030. I gotta go find my. I'm gonna do some Ubering, so I gotta go find my driver's license. I mean Never mind. I gotta go. Bye. I got my driver's license. I just gotta go find my what do you call that thing for your card? My insurance card and my thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and meet real weird people. So don't be surprised if you call the Uber people and I show up and pick you up. Okay? Don't be having no gun on you though. Okay? Don't be having no gun. No. Don't be robbing a brother either. So see y'all later. Have a great day. And remember, it is not the falling that gives you strength. It is the getting up every time you do. Have a great day.
Thank you, Lord, for every breath I take.